All right, it's not too often we get to tell you about an incredible story like this one you're about to hear. Last February, while stationed in Afghanistan, one Valley Army sergeant came face to face with a true hero, a four-legged hero. And with us right now to share this amazing story is Sergeant Terry Young and his dog Target. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good to be here.
I'm fascinated because to hear a story like this, you know, we hear it from a distance maybe in the news, but you're back home now. And first of all, thank you for your service and protecting our country as well. And you brought home Target from Afghanistan. Just backtrack and tell me how she came into your life.
Basically, we were stationed down on the Pakistan border, a small little compound, and she just happened to be one of the local dogs running around, you know, through the area. And she wandered onto the post one day, and we just befriended her, her and a couple other dogs. You know, basically they reminded us of home, and so we're like, you know, it's nice to kind of have a pet over there in such extreme circumstances. So. And
she proved to be a true man's best friend one day when there was a suicide bomber trying to enter into the base. Tell me what happened there. I know we have some pictures from over there in Afghanistan and even the aftermath of what happened.
Yeah, February 11th of this year, a suicide bomber walked onto the compound that we were living on with the Afghans, and basically he tried to make his way into our living quarters, and on his way in there he basically was attacked by the three dogs that we had befriended, Target, Rufus, and Sasha. Which luckily they did, because, you know, with all the barking they were doing, and by actually having a hold of him, so to speak, he wasn't able to get into the building completely, and he had to detonate, you know, just inside the north entrance. And so, because of what the three dogs did, they most certainly saved a lot of lives that night, and only five soldiers were actually injured in that attack.
And no one died as a result.
No one was killed. No one was killed.
What does that mean to you? What did that mean to you to know that, you know, here an animal who you just befriended here on the base in a foreign country?
It was absolutely just such an amazing situation, and still, when I think about it, you know, you hear about things like this happening in the movies and things like that, but when it actually happens in real life, you know, it's just, I don't know. It seems like a dream. I just can't believe that these three dogs stepped up the way they did.
And I've heard of soldiers befriending a lot of these stray animals. You know, the pets treated differently than how we treat our pets here at home in America. What was the process of trying to bring Target back to the States with you?
Well, there were some letters written. There's a lady that's the fiance of a soldier that it was in the unit that replaced us. She started a cause on Facebook called the Puppy Rescue Mission, and basically they raised funds. It's approximately about $3,000 per dog to rescue them out of Afghanistan. So between their efforts and the Hope for Warriors Foundation, and some other letters that were written, basically, it was just a big joint effort to get these first 7 dogs out of Afghanistan. And luckily, you know, Target and Rufus, 2 of the dogs that were there that night, you know, they were part of that group. And
could you imagine coming back to the States without her?
No. Well, I came back to the States without her. I wasn't contacted until a few months later, just totally out of the blue. They were like, hey, you know, Target's going to be rescued. Would you want to adopt her? And I was like, really? That's kind of a no-brainer. Yes, I absolutely want her. So.
And so what is it like now being back home for you?
It's wonderful being back home. It's a very extreme situation over there. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, it's wonderful being home. And like I said, when I was leaving Dan Patan, I never thought that I would ever see Target or Rufus ever again, which, you know,
was that hard?
Yeah, it really, you know, was rough on the last soldiers, and, you know, we said our goodbyes and made our last little pets and things like that. But when I got the news that she was coming to the States and was actually going to be part of my family, it just blew me away.
And she has not left your sight. I mean, she has stayed right on your foot, making sure, are you still petting me, or is your foot touching my foot? She's very attached to you, obviously.
Yes, she is, and she is an absolute sweetheart. We went to New York City last week, and I was really scared about like walking down the sidewalk with her, because she is pretty much a wild dog.
Sure.
But there were absolutely no issues. She had no qualms with anybody. It was It's amazing.
She looks, I mean, she's very domesticated, obviously, now. Is she house trained, and how is she accustomed to your home life now?
She's done really, really well, and yeah, I mean, she seems like she's domesticated, but the crazy thing is I don't know where she picks it up at, because, like, we didn't really have to train her in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, no accidents in the house. You know, she uses the dog door. It's absolutely amazing. She just picks up on it right away. And
I think she says, that's my plan. I'm going to find a way to make sure you fall in love with me so you bring me back to Arizona.
And she did it.
What's your message to folks out there who are watching this, hearing a story? There's a war still going on, and there's stories like this coming out of there. Yeah,
well, my message to people is just make sure you check out the Puppy Rescue Mission on Facebook. That's a huge fundraising opportunity. Please give, because the more you give, obviously, the more dogs we can get out of Afghanistan and Iraq.
And even Target has his own Facebook page?
Yes, Target has their own Facebook page. I've had such a response from friends and family and people out of state that it got to the point where I was like, you know what, all these people want to be my friends, but I know who they really want to be friends with.
They just want to see Target.
Exactly.
Oh, well, Sergeant Young, thank you so much for sharing your incredible story, and again, for all your service, and for all our service members out there who do what they do. We sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Target, you've been hiding back there. I'm going to just come down to the ground because I want everybody to see your pretty face. Look out there, sweetheart. Look at him. Look at her. I want to call her him. Thank you so much, Sergeant Young. Best of luck to you, Target. She's just too sweet.
She is.
We're keeping her here. You have to visit more often.
Okay.
Thank you very much.